Now, when you think of a traditional classroom, there's something so painfully obvious that you don't actually think about it. It's this idea of rows, right? So we have this conception that the person in the back loses the most, but in fact, the person in front loses just as much. They lose interaction. They don't get to see anyone else in the classroom. Now, this is something that we strive to avoid with a creative classroom. So that takes us to a question of defining our goal for today. Define a redesigned space on Center's campus to be the first creative classroom. Now, this leaves a couple of questions. First of all, what is creativity and its importance? And second of all, what constitutes a creative space? Well, let's talk first about creativity. And to be honest, before this class, I didn't really know what creativity was. I mean, I always thought I did. We all thought we did, but you don't actually. See, the first day of class, we had to come up with the characteristics of a creative person. And what we found is that among making the ideal human being, we also got some strange Pablo Picasso or some artist that's tortured like Vincent van Gogh. But this isn't the case. This is an oversimplification. Creativity doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to be an artist. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody has to be anything other than creative, have the ability to create. See, creativity is what makes the world go round. That's not an over-exaggeration. Without creativity, we couldn't solve complex issues. You think the person who created the twist tie, that was a creative solution to a simple problem. Without creativity, we can't solve these issues and we just don't work. So that's why a creative space is so important. Now, what is a creative space? Well, if we're going to go off of Ned Herman's The Creative Brain, it's a concept embracing the mental, physical, and emotional environment within which creativity operates. Essentially, it's the perfect conditions for somebody to be creative. And in order for a classroom to have this aspect, there's a few things we needed to include. Now, you can break up a creative space into three categories. There's the individual, the environment, and the interference between both of them. Essentially, what that means is how the two interact together. And that's the main part we're going to be focusing on, because the individual is how the individual acts in that environment, and the group, or rather the environment, is how the environment acts with the individual, bringing us to our third point. Now, what should it have? What are its characteristics? What should allow user movement? Someone shouldn't feel trapped in their creative space. They should be able to move around, leave it as they want to, and just have freedom. Among this freedom, it should be adaptable, so the room should be able to move with the person and their ideas. Among that, there should be stimulation. There should be something to stimulate the brain whenever they're not in such a creative mood or they're not trying to create something. That should be stimulated and be able to think. Other than that, they should have writable services, obviously, to write down their creative ideas and plan things. And there also needs to be an incubation display. This is something where, like a fish tank, just something that they can think and be lost in their thoughts, similar to stimulation, but less acting involved. Now, and finally, there needs to be a place to create. There needs to be a table, there needs to be something, some place where you get whatever you're creating done. And with Savannah's research and Xander's building know-how, we're going to kind of talk about what this is and what we focused on for our creative space.
After speaking with faculty and students, we learned that there was a huge need for audio and video learning spaces on campus and in multiple disciplinary fields. We heard from the art department, economics, as well as the language department. And in order to implement a video and audio recording editing space, we would need to gain the tools that would allow us to do so, such as cameras, recorders, editing software, programs, mics, a sound booth, and as well as green screens and shooting space. We also spoke with a group of students through the use of a survey. In it, we asked questions that particularly pertain to the comfort and the room aesthetics that they prefer. By doing this, we were able to gauge the comfort level and industrial feel the room would need. We found that most students preferred a clean and organized space that had a comforting, inviting feel to it. We learned that most students prefer being able to work in personal, closed-off spaces rather than out in the open during a personal study time. We heard a large demand for easy access to writing boards throughout the space from both faculty and students. There was a strong preference from professors to include the use of chalkboards in the room due to the board's versatile ability. But a cry for dry erase boards were heard specifically from students focused in the mathematics and science departments. We heard from the students to include a versatile seating arrangement that allowed students and staff the ability to customize the room to the occupants' needs. A popular addition to the room was the inclusion of snacks and beverage access during work sessions. Professors brought attention to the need for the room to have accessible storage as well. We learned that most students prefer the ability to have softer lighting options instead of bright fluorescents along the ceiling like most standard classrooms. In addition to running spaces, the need for movable projectors and projection spaces throughout the classroom was emphasized for easy transitions in class and more utilization of the class space. By turning our space into a classroom that contains space for video and audio recording and utilized editing department equipment, Centers College is now open to new possibilities. Professors will have the ability to record classroom lectures, which allows for students and even other faculty to observe the classroom lectures. Students can record presentations for class, allowing for students to review their own work and improve their own products before others even have to view their work. The space allows for music students and faculty to be able to record their music and pieces, and students can record podcasts. With these tools, students and faculty have the ability to reach out to a larger audience to share their work. The new equipment even opens the school up for the possibility of a radio broadcast system. Students and staff can even learn to use editing equipment and software for their audio and video.
Given all this information, we set out to create the perfect creative teaching and learning space. Our main focus was on this video audio recording booth because it was the most requested by many professors across many different disciplines. So the main challenge with the room that we chose was fitting everything we wanted into it due to its very awkward shape and strange angles and corners of the room. So we fit in the audio video booth in the corner and left enough space outside of it to add more features that we wanted to the room and keep it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Once we finalized the size and shape of the video booth, we added the next component to that, which would be the desks, which will be supplied with computers and software to edit and manipulate these video and audio stuff. Once we got that out of the way, we wanted to focus on the learning and creative space. So we added a whiteboard wall and a moving whiteboard chalkboard stand in the middle of the room, surrounded by interlocking desks and chairs that could either be grouped together for group projects, or you can unattach them from each other and have lots of smaller desks for individual work. That also works in a classroom setting, as there aren't any defined rows, but you can arrange the desks however you see fit. Once we fit in everything that we wanted to, we started working on the overall feel of the room, and so we started working with different color schemes. We found that light blues and greens are very good in a creative setting because they keep you calm and the creativity flowing, but they don't put you to sleep, so you can still get work done. We added a red splash carpet in the middle just to kind of contrast and bring the color out of the light-colored hardwood floors and the pure white walls around it. And then last but not least, we have a very ugly couch in the corner for relaxation and to kind of bring a stimulant to the otherwise fairly peaceful room. And in terms of biophilia and entertainment, we have a fish tank also in the corner to provide subtle motion and something to look at in times of incubation.
The end?
The end.
Okay.
Any questions?